Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week, another episode of the In the Sin Bin podcast. I'm accompanied by Tai Clay again. Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, good. Do I?
All right. Well, this week, we had a few high-scoring games and a few really close games. So We'll get into that in a second. But first, we'll have a quick recap of round 7. Then we'll have our round 8 preview. We'll talk about our fantasy teams, our top 3 players of the week in daily M-wise, 1, 2, 3 points, and then the NRL ladder after the round. So, do you have anything to say before we start?
No, I don't. But up the Roosters.
All right. Well, round 7. It was a week of Anzac Day. It was Anzac round. One of the best rounds of the year, close to Indigenous round. We had a lot of we paid a lot of tribute and stuff, and we had a few okay matches. And on Thursday night, felt like an eternity ago. It was the Panthers 24, the Knights 6. I'm not convinced. Okay, Penrith have been great, but the past 2 weeks' performances has been. They can play better. I'm not here to hate on Penrith. I thought Newcastle were alright, but I think this error. Brian To'o was amazing. 336 meters. That
Shit.
That is a lot. And then the guy he was marking, I think it was either Stafford Toa or Braden Musgrove. They didn't get even close to 200 meters. So, Penrith win well. Not much really to say except that. Do you have anything else to say about this game?
No.
All right. Well, Friday night, a lot of points scored. This was a game where 70 points were scored. The Rabbitohs 40, the Titans 30. David Fifita. Then, half time. Benji Marshall. Okay, what were your thoughts in this game?
I thought Times dominated the first half. Times should have won this game. But they threw it.
They blew a 14-point lead at half time. They scored in the last 8 minutes 3 tries. Just like what they did against the Broncos. But then the Rabbitohs, they come out flying. And they win by 10 points. Fifita was absolutely amazing for 40 minutes. Benji Marshall was absolutely amazing for 40 minutes as well. And it was just a game of 2 halves.
Yeah.
David Fifita only ran for 106 meters. But yet still managed to score 3 tries.
Did you see that full field try by who scored that full field try again? I think it was Jamal Fogarty.
Yeah, I saw that one. By the time that try was scored, I was not a happy guy. But Benji, let's look at Benji's stats. So, 80 minutes, obviously. He played at center, but then he moved to 5'8". 9 runs, 112 meters, 7 post-contact meters, 1 tackle break, 1 line break, 3 line break assists, 9 tackles. Meter, I don't know what MTK means. I don't know what KM is. He had 1 error, 2 try assists. 2 or 3 try assists and 2 tries of his own. He was outstanding.
Very.
And I think that's why they got him on, because of Benji Marshall. Did you see the flick to Alex Johnston?
That was 2005. That was...
Yeah. He took it back for this game when it mattered most. Eagles 46, Broncos 6 at Darwin. if you're a Broncos fan and you went to that game, you would probably cry yourself to sleep. It was a shocking performance. What were your thoughts on this game?
Now, first off, Xavier Coates, was it Xavier Coates? He did a Ben Hunt, basically. It took him 8 seconds, and then he knocked the ball on. Like,
you could just tell as soon as that
ball, happened, it's not your game. It's not your game.
Yeah, it was Barra's win.
And the only try they got was off Pangai Jr. in the 10th minute.
Gee, Pangai's been good. He's been good.
Yeah.
He's really redeemed himself. 228 kick meters for Brodie Croft, 133 for Dearden. Let's see what the Eels have. 316 off Moses, 60 off Brown.
Yeah.
It's just the Eels win well. The Eels weren't even at their best. They were nowhere near, but it was just the Broncos were so bad. But what they do is they concede the first try, then they score a try, make it 6-all, and then they give up. Yeah. It was 6-all. I know, can't you believe it?
And the next game, oh my god.
So this Saturday was only 2 games, and it was
two upsets.
Sharks 12 at home against Canterbury 18. I'd like to point out it was almost going to be a game of 2 hours if they scored another try. First half,
Trindle had a pass.
Trindle didn't go himself. He was no chance of scoring. He was no chance.
Still could have passed it.
He could have passed it, and probably they would have scored. It's just Bulldogs at the start. Sharks almost finish it. I'm really happy about Canterbury. They deserve a win. Anything else to say?
No, not much. Other than the Sharks played horrible.
Good win, Canterbury. And now another great win. Cowboys 26, Raiders 24 at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. 4 tries all, 4 out of 4 conversions, and it was just the penalty goal of Valentine Holmes that got them home. Raiders, all 4 of their tries were in the first half. At the 30, just before half time, it was 24-6, and you think, oh, Canberra's gonna put a flogging on, but Cowboys just come out for their home. So
they just came out the second half.
Yeah, was Justin O'Neill onside?
I say no. I say he was offside.
Well, I'm actually going to have a different opinion here. I think he was just onside. No, I think the bunker just got that one right. But if he didn't score that try, would have Canberra won? I honestly don't think so, because the Cowboys were the team in the second half.
Yeah, that's true.
Who was your standout player in this game?
Okay, my standout player. Right, this is based. I'm going to player stats, and there's like heaps of. I reckon my player of the match would have. Well, that's a tough one. I'm going to go Valentine Holmes.
Same. You know, Valentine Holmes has had the most meters.
Yeah.
He had more than any forward.
Yeah.
Holmes' performance was absolutely amazing, and I think if they had Drinkwater at fullback,
they would have lost.
He was absolutely outstanding. Well, now we move on to Sunday, Anzac Day. With 3 floggings. Yep, 3 floggings. We'll talk about the first flogging. West Tigers, they led 6-0. 40 unanswered points for Manly, and it was almost embarrassing that they let DCE almost get a hat-trick.
Almost. He did, though.
Tom Trbojevic has changed this team.
Yes.
Everyone was like, "Oh, Manly are going to get 16th," and I knew they weren't, because they were all forgetting Tom. Manly, they're a one club team. Everyone knows that.
If one person
Great performance. It was just good. Just good. That's all I have to say. Good. Yeah. All right. We move on to foggy number 2, traditional clash. Roosters 34, Dragons 10, and I'll hand the microphone to you.
Of course. Right. So Roosters, I think, dominated. Was that shoulder charge? Shoulder charge.
Which one?
I agree. It wasn't a shoulder charge, but apparently Fred said it was.
Ravila was going to miss some time, as well as Jordan Pereira.
Yeah, that shot, I think, that was a cheap shot. It was a cheap shot on Tedesco.
You think so? Okay. Well.
Also, Jai, want to do a fun fact?
Yes.
No Roosters player played 80 minutes.
Yes, they did.
No one. Not one person
Tupou, Josh Morris, Joseph Manu, Brett Morris, Hutchinson, and Sam Walker.
I was looking at fantasy points. Sorry,
yeah.
Looking at fantasy points.
Yeah, no, I thought that.
Yeah, I accidentally looked at fantasy points. Sorry. My bad. I looked at fantasy points.
But yeah. Good performance.
Yeah.
Of the Roosters, too clinical. 42-20, the Melbourne Storm outclassing the Warriors. Now, I'll let you start off because I'm going to have a big say about this game.
I don't know what you're going to talk about, Jai.
Okay.
Curran, what's his first name, Jai?
Josh Curran.
That shot was worse. That was very bad. Even Ravalawas was bigger than that.
Yes, but that wasn't the thing I wanted to talk about. No. Do you have anything else to say before I
Melbourne were all over Warriors. Warriors didn't look like winning by any. Yeah. Now, what do you want to talk about, Jai?
I want to talk about the Warriors team. Now go to the New Zealand Warriors team, and everyone at home, go to the Warriors team.
Oh my God, Jai.
Now this team.
You can't play Reece Walsh at fullback and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck on the wing. That does not work at all.
It's so depleted. 2 debutants. Marcelo Montoya, absolutely garbage. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck goes to the wing. Bailey Sirenen at halfback. Jack Murchie in the back row.
Bailey Sirenen.
Tom Ale making his debut. Ben Murdoch-Masila coming off the bench. It is a very... Okay, so if the Warriors were full strength, the only players they would have on this team would be Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, Ken Mamalo, Cody Nikorima, Bailey Sirenen, Wade Egan, Jazz Tavanga, Jermaine Tanoa-Brown, Ben Murdoch-Masila, and Bunty Afoa.
What about, did you say Montoya?
No, he doesn't make the side. When you got Foster Tua, you got all those other guys.
Yeah, so he has to play.
Yeah, but and then the Storm. Look at their side. It's absolutely outstanding. But I do want to talk about Melbourne's defense.
They were very poor.
Now, if this was against the what's it called? This team that's playing the Warriors, I don't know if the Warriors would have even scored a try.
They would have scored one.
They probably would have scored 1, 2 at max. Now, Melbourne, they were nowhere near as good. They had a lot of poor errors. and they were far off. Now they play Cronulla, which will probably be an easy win by them. But their next test is against South Sydney. Now, if they played like South Sydney, they play like they did against South Sydney. As long as South Sydney doesn't play like them, because it's a big factor in what always happens when South play good teams, then I think I see the Rabbitohs getting the win there. But that's still a mile away, and we will not be talking about that game until next week. But overall, just outclassed, but defend. They need to defend better. Yep, that's what they need to do. Well, we go on to round 8, and we got some decent games. We got
Game of the round is the first game. My opinion,
yes.
The game of the round is Rabbitohs and Raiders Thursday night. That, in my opinion.
Now, this will be the third game in a row that Canberra get the home ground advantage against South Sydney. It's very fair.
Yeah.
Very fair. At GIO Stadium, the Canberra Raiders, who are $2.35, host the South Sydney Rabbitohs, who are favourites. Rightly so. That performance, they just fell off and never came back. If they do that to South, the gates will open. But I think it will be closer. I think they will be hungry. And my tips will be tomorrow, but I think South get the job done here.
Yep.
Just probably. Friday, Melbourne host the Sharks. Now I think the Sharks were like $3 before they played the Bulldogs. Now they're $6.50. Not much to say except Melbourne.
We don't even have to. We know who's going to win. You know who's going to win. We can...
Sharks pull off an upset. You get $50.
Yeah.
All right, Broncos and Titans. Titans, will they be looking to respond against South Sydney? And will the Broncos respond? Absolutely not. I do not know why this is a Friday night game, because there was already a Friday night game of this one in round 2, and we only need this once. We don't need this twice. No one asked for Titans versus Broncos. No one asked. Yeah. I'm not yet. There should be better games at prime time. Yeah, Titans probably.
The next game should have been at 7:55.
Maybe. At Bathurst. Penrith versus Manly. Now,
close.
Now,
but I think we know who's going to win.
I don't know. I'm going to obviously tip Panthers, but I think it'll be closer than expected. You look at that Manly side and how they're getting their job done now. In Penrith, the last 2 weeks, they've been slightly off. They haven't been blowing everyone out of the park. I'm going to tip the Panthers, obviously, but I think it'll be closer. Maybe 8 to like 14. Something close. Closer than everyone thinking that they'll win 30 plus.
I'm not.
Canterbury versus Para.
You don't even have to ask questions.
Yeah, no question needed there. Nice versus Roosters. Same affair. Now, this Sunday, this is a hard Sunday to tip.
Very hard.
The Warriors are somehow favourites against the Cowboys.
Rightly so. I reckon they should be favourites.
Now, if the Warriors field a team that they did last week, I don't know if they can get the job done. But North Queensland are at home, and that'll be a big factor. I'm probably going to lean towards the Warriors, but
it's going to be tight.
Wait till Tuesday.
We'll wait for teams tomorrow.
Yep. Teams that play a big part here. Dragons, Tigers. If you tip the Tigers, go home. Go home if you tip the Tigers. Well, that's it for round 8. Now I'm going to go onto the fantasy app, which I'm already on, so I'll start this week. Now, this week, it was a decent week.
How much did you get?
759, but
Well, you got more than me.
two people that were just shocking.
Damien
Cook, who I gave captaincy, got me 124 points.
You didn't give Reynolds?
No, I didn't give him. I gave him vice captain.
Oh, of course.
Joe Offengawi got me 42. Tavita Totola got me 2 because he came off in the 4th minute. Bit disappointing there. Victor Radley got me 49. Alex Glenn, who was a late exclusion, I couldn't move host there actually, but host already played, so I couldn't actually. Alex Glenn, I couldn't do anything about it, so I just got dudded. Jordan Ricky got me 37. Cody Walker got me 28. Adam Reynolds got me 44. Justin Olam got me 36. Stephen Crichton got me 53. AJ got me 49. Dane Laurie got me 17. Now, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, I was so hyped on getting him, and I'll probably get Mitchell later on now.
Yeah.
But then he gets moved to the wing, and he does nothing all game. He got me 25 points. The bench was absolutely outstanding. Sam Walker got me 67. Moses Leota got me 40. Josh Schuster got me 57. And Keon Kalolamatangi, who everyone thinks is a nobody, he got an astounding 67 points. The second highest in the team. Yeah, so what's your team then?
So, Damien Cook got me 62. Then Jai Arrow got me 38 starting. Mark Nichols, the GOAT, got me 28. Then Cameron Murray got me 67. Then I had Murdoch Masilla, who got me 51. Then I had Tom Eisenhuth, who got me 35. Reynolds, captain, 88. Cam Munster, 59. Zach Lomax, 13 points.
Wow.
Broker, 24. Adokar, 61. Dane Laurie, 17. Tedesco, only 6 because he went off. Michele Ravalawa, 23. Cam Mamalo got me 42. Will Smith got me 25. And Remus Smith got me 57. And my total for this week was 696.
All right. Well, whose fantasy team was better than mine was?
Of course.
I think it's because of the bench. The bench was absolutely outstanding for me. Well, our top 3 players of the round.
Now, this is tough. I've actually looked into this.
All right. Well, I haven't looked into this at all, so if you want to start, by all means, you can.
Okay. So, my number 3 player of the week would have to go to Micah Sevo.
Okay.
Good hat trick. And
Fair.
my second place is Valentine Holmes.
Yep.
I think he played astounding for the Cowboys, won them the game. But my number 1, who won the game after being 14 points down at halftime, has to be the Benji Marshall.
Benji, bruh.
He helped the team win. Now, they were 14 points down at halftime, and then a momentum swing goes to the Rabbitohs, and Benji Marshall steps up.
All right. Well, I got my 3, but first I want to put in an honourable mention, and that is Tom Trbojevic.
Oh, yeah.
He was great, but not as good as these 3 players. Number 3, I've got David Fafita.
Oh, yeah.
He's so strong. He's too big. He knocked Totola out concussed. He scored 3 tries, a hat trick in the first half. He went away, which means he's only going to get the 1 point because he faded away in the second half when the Titans needed him the most. Number 2, Gonna give it to Valentine Holmes. As you said, he was absolutely outstanding. Kicked all his goals, and that ultimately won the game. As well as kick receivings and defusals were pinpoint. In number one, your number one also, Benji Marshall, absolute legend. He's 36 and he's managing to win the game.
Like it's 2005.
He is absolutely outstanding. Well, we move on to the last segment of the ladder. I did the bottom 8 last week, so you can do the bottom 8 this week.
16th place is still the Bulldogs, but they won a game. So they're creeping. 15th place is Brisbane. Nothing to say about that.
Yes.
14th is West Tigers.
Deserve it.
Yep. 13th is Cronulla. A little bit poor.
Okay, yeah, the Sharks, they could be in the top 8 right now, but they've just choked the winnable games. Like, against the Raiders, they choked that one too.
12th is Cowboys. They're creeping up.
Rightly so.
Is Manly. Manly could make the 8 if
Tom
doesn't get injured. And 10th is Newcastle. They're just staying where they are. And 9th is the New Zealand Warriors.
Well, before I go into the top 8, I want to point out the only team who has positive points in the bottom 8 is actually a team in the bottom 4, and that's the Cronulla Sharks. Wow.
Oof.
Well, and yeah, if the Sharks get one win, they're all the way up to 7th. That is crazy how close it is. It's just come down to points differential. All right, well, the top 8, sponsored by me. 8th place is Canberra, who doesn't deserve it, but they go up because of points differential.
Of course.
7th is the Titans. 6th is Saints. 5th is the Roosters. 4th is Melbourne. 3rd is South. They're down because of 4 points. Para are up because 4 points. And Penrith are at first with 140 plus.
Of course.
Well, that wraps up this week's podcast. Thanks to Ty Clay and everyone. Do you have anything to say before we go?
All I want to say is that Penrith are trash.
All right. Until next week, guys. Hope you liked it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next week.
See you. Goodbye.